What if I tell you that in magic we have our equivalent to the Olympics? If you're a magician, you might think that it looks something like this.
10 points for Gryffindor!
But not at all. Unfortunately, reality is not as exciting, but this event is known as FISM. That stands for Fédération Internationale Fédération Internationale de Société Magique. So every 4 years, thousands of magicians all around the world come together to watch the selected magicians from each association compete and aspire to win with their magic acts a FISM trophy, or best case scenarios, the Grand Prix, which is the highest prize you can win in the magic community. So in this video, as an experienced magician, I'll be reacting and analyzing for you what is by far the most viewed and popular FISM act on YouTube. That belongs to Eric Chien, who also happened to be the winner of the Grand Prix in 2018. And by the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you what I like the most and the things that I did not enjoy as much. So if it sounds good to you, sit down, relax, and let's get into it. Okay, he's introducing the objects he's gonna play with, especially the ribbon and the rectangles, which are going to have a key role, as we will see during the routine. Okay, well, that's a very good start. Very visual, quick. That's something I would recommend to all magicians whenever they start the show, to do something visual and quick so you can catch people's attention. Now he's preparing this split setup that will be the leitmotif of the whole routine, as we will see. Okay, well, so far he's executing technique in such a smooth way that it feels like nothing is going on. But as we will see, there's already going on a lot of things going on right now. Okay. He's setting the rules of what he's gonna play with the magic phenomenon he's gonna play with. And as you can see, that was super smooth. Oh, okay. That's very interesting already, because he's using a lot of sleight of hand there that are so well executed that he's able to push them even forward. Because normally this sleight of hand, like what I think he's using a bottom deal, are normally performed in a deceiving way that whenever they execute the technique, you cannot appreciate the result until, you know, few seconds passed from when the technique was performed to what the result is. But he's doing it so well and so smooth that he's able to execute the effect by the moment he's executing the technique, and giving this impression that the card just changed color just by, you know, throwing it or dealing it to the other side. And the fact that he's able to do that is what already tells me how much he practiced and how much he worked on designing this routine, because it's really hard first, and second, it's like using a gimmick card, but you're actually using sleight of hand, which for me, from my point of view as a magician, is a mind-blowing thing. And also what he does is to create this best color change that brings the attention to the whole picture, not only on what's going on the table, but also on himself, which I think it's visually enriching the routine, and also already setting all the rules of the magic phenomenon he's going to play with along the routine. So far we see a lot of things going on, and I'm not surprised why this is so popular and so viewed on YouTube. Okay, so we already know the rules. And now he's going to play with them with some Leonard Green techniques. That's a very good application of it. Now, yes, okay. Okay, that's very smooth. Okay, here we're probably going to see a lot. Okay, sleight of hand, this Bertrand change. That's, my God. Here I have to say there's something that it's really mind-blowing, and is the fact that the type of gimmick he was using right now is probably custom. He made it himself for this purpose, and it's so smartly designed, even though I don't know anything about it. It's so smartly designed that it allowed him to treat this car as an ordinary car, because normally when you create gimmicks, unless they're very well designed, you will need to readjust the handling or readjust when you pass from one state to another, so you can, make the mechanism fit into what it pretends to be, an ordinary car. But the fact that he handles it in such a light and smooth way is what makes me think that the gimmick he's using is so well designed, or at least the technique he's using is so well designed that it's mind-blowing, because he's just treating it like a normal car. Like if I'm just doing like this, it turns blue, and then I do that and it's now back to red. And this, for me, it's mind-blowing as a magician. And we're gonna see a lot of these well-designed gimmicks that are treated as if it will be a real object. So let's continue. Again, what I said before, beautiful. And okay, wow, okay, here, in addition, he's doing something that is very powerful, because normally in magic you create illusion, and if you stop halfway, the thing that creates illusion, or the thing that is covering the key information that allow people to perceive what they're seeing as an illusion, it's normally staying there. But what he's doing right now is not only first create the illusion, but also removing the thing that creates illusion. So he's materializing the illusion he created. So there's no need for the ribbon to be there, because what happened is for real. And that's so powerful, because as we'll see later, he's also able to revert it back, which is somehow similar as a torn and restore effect. It's so powerful, the fact that you can change from one state and then make it come back to another, but also materialize it so you can show people that what you pretended was happening, it really happened. So that's amazing and mind-blowing. We'll see it so many times here in this routine. Yes, we will see now is making it come back to its natural state, also giving this last color change. And now if there's an absence of the element of the rectangle, what's happening, of course, is vanishing. He's designing the routine so well that we can understand what's going to be the next effect, so we can create the expectation and also see how beautifully things are disappearing. He's been presenting the rules and how everything is going to work in such a smart and good way that it's very well designed. And now he's probably performing what is by far the best moment of the routine, which is this. You see now he created the illusion, we can see, and also he's materializing it by removing the part of the card that is supposed to be there still. And not only that, also reverting back that illusion he created. So that's why it's so powerful. And now making it vanish is just, just a little thing compared to everything what he did so far. Okay, now we're introducing the coins, which by context we understand what is about to happen now. Beautifully executed. And of course, this transformation is one of the most beautiful I ever seen, from cards to coins. Okay, well, here, of course, we're getting a bit far from sleight of hand, but still using technology in such a context that will never be achievable with sleight of hand, or at least will be very hard to achieve with sleight of hand, I think is so well placed that it's hard to tell if it's sleight of hand or technology going on. And that's why it makes it so interesting and enriching, because he's using it in such a very well designed points that it's hard sometimes to tell, again, what is a sleight of hand and what is technology. I mean, my God, it's so big. I love that. Okay, it's now collecting the coins. Great detail. That's a very good one for those who are magicians who understood why he did that. And now, yeah, okay, it's coming back to the same situation, kind of. I have to say here, this coin vanish from the box, comparing it to all the effects we saw there, I think that's the weakest. And I'm surprised he have not come up with something a bit more visual. I think it will be very hard and inconvenient try to make it something visual, considering that this box is introduced and has all the elements there in the beginning. But I will not be surprised if he will be presenting this routine again right now, that he will be probably using a different method that will bring something extra, something slightly more visual. But of course, if we compare it to the rest of the effects we saw. But so far the vanish is good, but just compared with the others, it kind of feels a little bit weaker. So let's see how the routine ends. Yeah, now he makes audience realize. Probably not everybody realized in the beginning, so it's good that he brought attention. And yes, wow, such a great ending. Such a great ending. This is somehow closing the circle, because he started with this visual effect of making the rectangles appearing like this, and now making the vanish somehow closes the circle. And I have to say, this routine is beautiful. I mean, it's probably one of the most complex close-up routine ever performed. Not only by the way he's linking all the effects, but also on the way he's using gimmicks, technology, and sleight of hand. That combination that is so well designed, I think, is what makes it so complex. And as a magician, I'm really enjoying watching it, because I could appreciate many of the things that he's showing. Even though there's a lot of information that I'm missing, I can appreciate it still, and I can understand why he does some things and the way he does them. So far, there's not much to say about it, negatively speaking. The only thing I would say that I'm not enjoying as much is maybe the premise in which he is presenting all the effects. This is more like a personal taste. I really like magic tricks that do have a premise, that it's kind of a story, like a human story, where there's a main character introducing the story that then allows him to explain, or has the excuse to explain, all the magic things that are happening. But here, for me, the premise itself, like the table, the ribbon, it's kind of not easy. I would say it's not fair to say easy. The premise he's using, the splitting the table, it's kind of, let's say, not hollow, but it's not as attracting to me, the fact that he uses that as an excuse to do all those effects. And they're just happening just because they're there and you set the rules and that's it. Which it's another way to introduce magic. It does not have to be all like a movie, like introducing a main character and so on, or a story that happened to you. But this is not a type of premises I'm enjoying as much. Of course, the way he is using it is beautiful, and it sets the rules that will make us clearly understand what the things are going to be and how and what is the next thing that's going to happen, so we create expectations and then he punch us by materializing it. But it's not the type of premise I like to use. And the other thing I did not enjoy as much maybe is the acting skills. Here we have to point out that we as magicians, our main focus is to make magic, because we are not actors. And I'm sure that somebody would disagree with me, especially Robert Houdin, but something I see a lot in this kind of magic acts, when there's no script and the magician is just performing with very dramatic or very exciting music, is that whenever they have to express fear, frustration, or joy, somehow I feel disconnected. It's hard for me to engage with that. Whenever I see him desperate or frustrated because everything what he just created is about to vanish, first, I don't perceive it as authentic, because of course, again, he's a magician, not an actor, but still, it's hard for me to engage with that. And also the premise itself, yeah, okay, things are happening just because you set the rules and such a things, but I don't understand what this desperation is coming from. I cannot empathize with you. If you have introduced with a story where you had a trauma and you don't want to come back to that or whatever, it will be probably easier, but then you have to also have a very good acting skills, which is something that there, even though it's okay-ish, it's not as good for me to really emphasize and feel like the frustration or the desperation he's feeling by seeing everything vanish in front of him. So I would say these were the two things that I did not enjoy as much. As a magician, of course, I'm biased on that terms, so probably what is not as good for me for you will be not the same, and that's part of it. And of course, this is my personal opinion. Everybody could have its own vision about it, so I will be really curious to know what you think about it. Do you agree with me, or you think I'm speaking nonsense? So let me know in the comments what do you think about it. I would love to read it. So that was the video. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. And if so, please don't forget to give me a like. This will help me a ton. And if you like this type of content, consider subscribing, as I'll be uploading many other videos in the future that will go from magic tutorials to magic reaction and analysis that I'm sure you'll be interested in. Additionally, if you would like to learn magic in a meaningful and structured way, you can access my membership on YouTube, where I'm sharing with you my professional tutorials and other exclusive content that will never be available publicly. Or if not, you can also access my free tutorials that will definitely give you a good foundation to start your magic career or magic path in a structured and meaningful way. So now if you want to keep learning magic with me, I'm letting you hear the super cool videos that I'm sure you will enjoy. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and I hope to see you in the next one.